Hello, welcome to this tutorial on uploading Craft Tracker hours. My name is Professor Torrance Williams, and I am going to walk you through a very short tutorial on inserting hours into your Craft Tracker. So where I'm starting here is the student view. I'm seeing exactly what you see, and so you see that, right? Like this is what you should see when you open up your Canvas course room. And what we're going to look at today is how to put our hours into our Craft Tracker. So at this point, many of you should already be aware of how to log into Craft Tracker. And so I just want to walk you through kind of the new look of Craft Tracker for this semester, and also just helping you upload those hours, okay? Hopefully this will clear up any questions you might have. So from the course room here, I am in my DEP 201A course, but this can apply to any of the courses that you're in or any semester that you're in. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to Craft Tracker. It's going to prompt me to open in a new tab, which I am going to do. And it's going to ask me to sign in. I'm going to click sign in. Okay, for you, when this comes up, if you don't already have your reach information in there, the easiest way to log in is to log in through Google. If you click Google, you're also just going to click your reach email, and it's going to log you right in. So I'm going to click continue with Google. I'm going to click my reach email, and it's going to open up my Craft Tracker account. And so from here, if you have received a code from your professor, you would join a plan here and you would just insert that code. I'm not going to do that on this one because I already have joined a few plans. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go into a foundational semester, the one that's led by 201A. So one of the things that I do want you to understand about Craft Tracker is organized by semester. And that semester is organized by which DEP class you are currently in. So this is foundational semester, and the DEP course that goes along with this semester is 201A. There's also another foundational semester that goes with 201B. And down here at the bottom, I'm also in an intermediate semester, which would be what will come after the foundational. And this one is organized by 202A. So there's another one that's intermediate, that's 202B. And then we get to advanced, and there's a 303A and a 303B, and so on and so forth. So your semester in Craft Tracker will always be organized by your DEP course. For the sake of this, I'm going to go into foundational semester 201A. And when you open it up, especially those of you who are not new to Craft Tracker, you probably are a little confused because you're used to seeing a lot of courses in here. However, for this semester, what we've done with Craft Tracker is we have placed all of the assignments in one, under one code and in an organized fashion within the tracker. So once I click Foundational Semester Placement Course 201A, Section A, I go in here and I see that there are a total of 37 assignments for the semester. And these assignments are organized by the courses that you are taking. So in here, you'll see that every course begins with the course name. So this is WC 100. So every assignment that you have for WC 100 is grouped together. You can see them here. They're all here. And then they're organized by week. So like this is going to be the WC 100 activity that is due for week 3. WC 100, that's week 6. WC week 9, week 10, week 12, right? So they're in chronological order before you go to another course, right? And so here is WC 104, again, in chronological order by the week that you are going to complete them and submit them in Canvas. We have NS 100, and that just kind of continues. You also will see that in everyone's in everyone's tracker, you have a total of 15 weeks of job embedded hours, right? And I'm just going down here because DEP 201A also has assignments. They're not up at the top, they're here at the bottom. Yours may look a little bit different, but again, organized by the week that they are due. So in chronological order. All right. For the sake of this assignment, what I'm going to do is show you job embedded hours. So I've already completed a job embedded hours for week 1. So I'm just going to go into week 2 to show you what needs to be done. All right. So for your job embedded hours, note that you are always going to be about a week behind on your job embedded hours because you can't insert week 2 hours in week 2. You have to get through the week first, right? So you'd be submitting these either the weekend after week 2 is over or the next week during week 3. All right. So there's a couple of things. The one thing that I want you to pay attention to is that it is not going to let you submit unless there is a comment and you have included the time on the activity. So time is here. So for our placement courses, for all of our courses across the university, you have got to have a minimum of 15 hours per week that are job embedded hours. But you may be a para and you may work 35 to 40 hours a week. Okay. So for this, we're going to consider that I am a para and I work 35 hours a week. I'm going to click save. So I've put my hours in, right? Those hours are tracked. But I also need to identify what I did during those 35 hours, okay? So I'm gonna switch tabs here, and I'm gonna go to this little document that is called the OJL Tracker Weekly Hour Descriptors. If you have not seen this yet, it is likely embedded in your syllabus or your DEP professor or methods or apprenticeship professor has shared this with you. If not, that is okay. In the very near future, you will have a module in your course room for your placement method or apprenticeship that will actually have tracker resources, and this will be in that tracker resources, okay? If you don't have this, you can always just send an email to, I'm gonna put it here in the chat, ojl.support@reach.edu. Okay, and if you want to send an email there and request the document, then we can send that to you. Also, just with regard to any questions you have about Tracker, your placements or methods or apprenticeship professor should always be your first line of defense. You always go to them first. If you have further questions, you can also send emails to this address and we will respond to those as soon as possible. Okay, but getting back to the hours. So I have already put in this activity that I worked 35 hours. Now in the comments, I need to say what I did during those hours, right? So this list has 14 activities that you could do during the course of a week. This is not by any means an exhaustive list. So, but for the sake of this example, we're going to say that one of the things I did this week was new teacher orientation. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to go over here into the comments and I'm going to paste new teacher orientation because that was what I spent part of my 35 hours doing. Okay. One of the other things that I may have done during that week was co-plan and get feedback from my on-site mentor, on-site partner, right? Like that is the person who you have gone and asked and you have signed an agreement with each other and you're going to work with them, okay? All right, I'm going to go here. I'm going to paste that. And then almost every week, many of us are going to be working in a classroom with another teacher, with other educators on campus. So I'm going to put observation of teachers and classrooms in there as well. All right. So for week 2, I am saying that I'm putting my 35 hours in that I worked. And then I am commenting that I did new teacher orientation. I did some co-planning and feedback on lesson plans with my on-site partner, and I conducted some observations of teachers in classrooms, okay? After I have checked all those things, I am going to now click submit. And when you click submit and it is actually in there, it is going to give you a green pop-up that says it's submitted, and it should say waiting on an evaluation. That evaluation is going to come from your on-site partner. We'll be getting those in the next several weeks. In the meantime, if you need to go in and change, you can always unsubmit until it has been evaluated. So if you find that you make a mistake, you can always go back into your craft tracker, you can unsubmit, make the corrections, and then submit again. Okay? All right, so now when I go, I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna go back into my foundational semester. I'm gonna click and I'm gonna go look for my week 2 hours. And now instead of having a clipboard, I should have an icon that says it has been submitted. Okay, so you can see that. That is done. So that is all that you will be doing for your job embedded hours. As far as job embedded hours go, remember that 15 hours per week is the minimum. So if you ever have an issue where you are off because you are sick, or you have some issues, or let's say you're out at a PD, or one of your kids is sick, you can always kind of bank hours, right? So if you did 35 hours in week 2, but you have to be off because you're sick for week 3, and you don't go back to work in week 4 until week 4. For week 3, you can borrow hours from here in week 2, right? Because you work 35, and you can just share those into week 3, right? So it is not a huge deal because we need a minimum of 15, but most of you are working more than 15 hours in a week, okay? So if you don't have any questions, you are good to go. If you still have questions after this, remember that you can send an email to ojl.support@reach.edu. And with that, you can ask any questions that you need. You can also and should always use your either your placements methods or your apprenticeship professor as their first line of defense. I look forward to working with you all more this semester and the semesters to come, and have a wonderful semester. Between this is 8 minutes from that. Yeah.